What's up, fellow designers? This is Cliff, and today I'm going to show you a Photoshop tutorial on how to make some grunge effects for some photographs you can easily take around the house or in your backyard. Check it out. Thanks for checking me out. Today I will be doing some grunge effects in Photoshop. So first thing I did, let's create a 1920 by 1080 frame. And so what I did here is, we're going to start with the white frame, and let's just maybe tint it a little dark, a little lighter. And we're going to control backspace. No, it's Alt and backspace. My bad. And so what I want to do now is I took pictures of some grunge stuff, and you can too. And so what I did here was I took a few pictures. So here's my basement floor, my front patio, my driveway, more driveway, and another, I think that's my garage, and another patio shot. And so kind of the idea behind this is trying to get that grungy kind of effect. And so we have here like the metal, I have some like a railing that was kind of busted off, so I just have some kind of rusted screws going on there. And so what you want to do is, I'll try to provide these as well, but you want to do is you want to get some grungy effects. I'm sure you can go around and get some Photoshop brushes, some easy stuff, and I'll probably cover that in another tutorial about gathering some Photoshop brushes and creating your own. But for now, we're just going to kind of use this imagery as a kind of tutorial base for everything. Alright, so what we want to do is come back to here. Let's actually, what do we want to grab first? So let's go with this cracked one. See a little dandelion right there. Just pulling this to the side so I can drag it back in. Drag it into this window. Alright, got some stuff right there. So first thing you want to do when you bring anything into it, before you touch anything, you want to convert it to a smart object. So you're going to right click on here, convert to smart object. And if you're using new Photoshop, just hit Control T. This is Windows. Just zoom it out with Control minus. And so holding down the Alt, you're just going to kind of drag it in. Don't worry, the new Photoshop automatically shifts everything for you. So see, I'm not even holding the shift. But if you're a previous Photoshop version, you'll want to hold the shift. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of tighten that up a bit. Get that crack in there. Alright, cool. So now we have that. Now let's kind of get to the fun stuff. And so we're going to go to your layers right here. Let's see, just kind of scrolling down, see what looks cool. That looks pretty neat. Overlay is pretty good. And multiply. Alright, we're going to hit either overlay or multiply. It's kind of par for the course of what we're doing. And then we're just going to kind of add a layer mask. So right down here, it's a little square with the circle in it, rectangle. I'm going to click on that, and we're going to hit D and then X. So what I did, if you see right here, once I hit D, it switches out that way and just kind of brings your white to the foreground, black to the background. Actually, let me maximize this. No one wants to see my desktop. And so we're still over here. And you hit X to kind of switch them back and forth. So I'm just tapping X. Alright, so we want to have the black in the foreground. I'm going to hit right here on the mask. And then just to go to our brush tool, I'm going to hit the B button. And you'll notice up here, try to get as big as you can. Let's see, I went with 1100 default. And we're bringing the opacity down a bit, maybe about 60. Alright, so what we're going to do is kind of tag it around here. Just kind of lightly tapping. Every time we tap, we get a 60% opacity on it. That's pretty good. So the bigger the brush, so you want to make sure it's also hardness is set at 0. So what you're doing right here, if you notice right here, it's kind of creating like a foggy like mask. And so that's kind of just playing around. That's a calculator. Alright, so we're just kind of fading everything out. And so this is kind of the faded kind of look. So we can take this layer, maybe drag the opacity down. So you just slide it. it that way. Another quick tip is if you have a keypad, just hit the numbers on it. So if you hit the number 8 on the keypad, hits opacity. Oh, it's already at 5. So hit it to 5, then hit to 8. So it's kind of opaque to that. All right. So now what we're going to want to do, maybe move it over some. Get this nice. So I get that weed out of there on the top. Go back in there, kind of come up here, maybe clean it out a bit more. All right, cool. So now we have a kind of a single grunge layer going down. Let's kind of check out what else we got going on here. So I really like these kind of bolts that are sitting there. Convert it to a smart object. Let's see. Okay, we're going to size this down a little. It's kind of like that bolt pattern going on. Did I have another one? I could have sworn I did another one. Yeah, that's fine there. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing. Hit the mask. Press the B button to bring up our brush. Just kind of go in this area. So this is slowly masking everything out. And by hitting the left and right brackets, so right brackets can make it bigger, left bracket can make it smaller. And if you're not sure what the brackets are, it's right next to the P key. And we're just going to hit there, right there. So it has some nice gravel effects to it. We're just kind of building on everything. Right there. So I'm kind of taking that bolt out a little, but I want to go back in, hit the mask. And with my brush, if you see all the way over to the left, hit the X key. It brings up white. So white's going to reverse this masking that we've been doing. So just going to hit that a few times, bring it up. Alright, I'm going to go back to the black. Key that up a bit, just kind of toggle that up, refresh it out. Alright, now maybe hit up with the, what does it look like with the multiply at the opacity down? Let's keep it up. Let's see, alright, so this is looking kind of messy, looking kind of dirty, that's fine. And let's hit up this style. So a lot of grunge is kind of layering upon layering things. So we got this background. Let's see, hit up the smart objects. Let's see, it's okay, we can turn this around. Ooh, this has some very nice things going on here. Alright, so let's hit that up with a multiply maybe? Alright, so it's kind of multiplying over things. So this is kind of overlaying everything. So this is, I just make sure to name our layers. So I'm going to call this the basement one, based on where I found it. Porch. Porch on top. Actually, maybe put the basement on top. And then we're going to go with the crack. And we're just going to call this the base layer right here. Alright, so we're going to kind of get a more grungy effect. So porch, let's try playing around with it. Let's go an overlay maybe? Alright. Alright, so what I did there was I copied by pressing Ctrl J, and that just duplicates the layer. So it kind of doubles up, gives it kind of the same bump to it. But let's take the top layer down to maybe 50%. So you're like, wait a minute, it's just the same layer. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm kind of like stacking the layers to give it a little more visual oomph, so to speak. And so watch what happens when I just take this layer off. You'll notice kind of like the impact it has on it. So we're going to call this porch overlay. Right, and this was the porch. Yeah, it's porch overlay too. Alright, so now you see it's feeling kind of grungy. So we're going to take both of them. And see, so I just hit shift there. And I'm going to move it. Just kind of playing over here. Alright. So let's see, let's just start playing with everything. We still have this image to go. Why not? Alright, so now this is making it look dirty. Convert that, so let's call it Dirty Driveway. I know, it's like, what? Where do you come up with these names? Alright, so Dirty Driveway, let's give that a multiply. Maybe put that at the top. That doesn't want to go where we want to go, so let's bring it to the bottom. No. Let's do some kind of overlay. Alright, so here we got the dirty driveway. So what does it look like without and with? So this is starting to bring some of that kind of cement feel to it. It's starting to get dirty, kind of like in these spots. Kind of brings out more of this area. So let's see, I want dirty driveway. Okay, yep, I want it there. This makes more rustical. Is that a word? All right. Let's see, what do we have left? Yeah, let's try this guy. Why not? We're just kind of, this has another rust kind of issue to it. Same image. So I'm hitting Control T to kind of do the transform tool, kind of get everything, just moving this, not hitting any key whatsoever. So we're gonna kind of try to balance. We're gonna hit enter on the keypad for that. So we're just gonna call this second porch. So we want to hit this with maybe an overlay? No. Multiply. Yeah. Let's check the opacity. So if you notice here, if you just hover over the word opacity, you can literally just scroll left and right. We're not going to do that. Maybe if we hit normal, do the opacity that way. Nah. Let's see, what can we do to kind of make that little bolt pop out, but at the same time not pop out? Let's try with the vivid light for now. And so we're going to go back down to our mask. Get our brush out. Let's kind of brush away a lot of this stuff. Get some vivid light. Okay, maybe one tap here. Kind of an overall. Nope. I want to Control Z that. So now it's looking kind of dirty right now. Alright, let's get this last piece. Ooh. So we're going to call this guy driveway. Alright, gonna turn around, hold shift to make sure it clocks in. Alright, so let's maybe hit an overlay. Alright, so this is going to overlay everything. Alright, so this is looking pretty dirty, pretty grungy. And so yeah, essentially what I did, I took 6 different layers of just old driveway, my basement floor, and my porch, and I turned it into this. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. It's literally just imagery of stuff I took with my phone. And you can use this kind of style on anywhere. So let's say if you want to make a frame for it, let's group everything. So I'm selecting the bottom one, holding shift, clicking on the top one. This will select everything. You want to hit Control G, that groups everything. And so let's call this the grunge group. Alright, we'll keep this as the base. And what we want to do here is we can actually put a mask on this entire layer that we just did. And just, oops, go here, go opacity, maybe kick it. See what I did there? I always want to do a quick reset of this to get your black in the front, because that's what causes the mask. Masks work in like a grayscale. So I hit that. It looks dirty. Oh, nope. Got that. Hold on. So we hit that. So it's just a circle in the middle. I just saw that. Let's turn the overlay to black on this. Oh, that looks nice. That looks too nice. So again, I'm just doing a color overlay on everything. Oh, it's looking dirty nice. Actually, let's delete this layer mask. So this looks a lot more grungy than I was expecting. It's like a dark grunge is a light grunge. It's literally just the cover overlay. And why is that affecting it? So the why that's affecting it is because every single layer, crack, porch overlay, dirty driveway. Notice how up here, there's some kind of layer thing on it. Now what that does, it overlays what's below it. So it's kind of giving that like visual effect where it's just kind of covering each other. And the base is the solid color. So it's going to all go on top of the base. So no matter what the base color is, when you change it, it'll change the overall look of it. So if it's change it to red, it's going to have some freaky stuff. Do some crazy stuff. You want to do some horror show stuff. This is kind of like a lava kind of thing going on. So this looks pretty badass. Got some pink stuff going on. Ooh, I'm kind of liking this. Kind of like the reddish stuff. Let's keep it dirty grunge. Keep it like that. Let's see what we have here. So I think maybe we're gonna go back in this layer mask. No, nope. I like that. Maybe move it a bit down here because which had the crack. So just pressing Control J, just kind of building up that crack layer. Building up that crack layer. All right, so I'm gonna take a brush, maybe opacity down, and kind of bring back some of this layer. Nope, not too much. Don't want to make it look like a cut. And then, yeah, so that's kind of a grungy just kind of grungy feel. And if you want to put it on anything, so actually that's what it looks like without everything. Just kind of piled on top of each other. This gives it a more dirty look to it. But you know what? Just play around with it. And that's pretty much, it is what it is. So hopefully this kind of showed you a little grungy effect that you can do. It's literally just go outside. And I know there has to be some cement around you. Even taking pictures of your wall, your floor, anything to kind of get that like stone look to it. Maybe you have some metal. Metal will look pretty sweet on that. Take pictures of metal appliances. Anything like that. Anything out of the ordinary that you typically wouldn't think of. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please drop a like. Drop a comment and tell me what you thought about it. Always looking for feedback. Alright, well, thanks again, everybody, for checking out this tutorial, and I hope you check out more. See ya!